The Fujifilm X-S20 has been out for over 3 years now, and it is still hands down one of my favorite Fujifilm cameras. If you've been hanging around the channel for a little bit, I've been going back and reviewing some of the gear I've been using over the past couple of years, why they're my favorite, and how I think a lot of them are still a great choice in 2026. So if you're interested in the X-S20, here is a more long-term review of how I've been using it and why I think it is a great hybrid camera still in 2026. And a big thank you to this video sponsor, Squarespace, one of my favorite platforms that we'll be talking about later on in this video. So before I get into the specifics about the X-S20, let's talk about my history and how I got to using it. So initially, I actually started out with the X-H2S. As a wedding photographer, videographer, and also YouTube content creator, I always need a single camera that I can use for making videos like this, or even recording video at my couple's weddings. At the time, the X-H2S dropped, and it is definitely the flagship of hybrid video for Fujifilm in their X series cameras. And this camera was amazing. It had a lot going on. I think it had like 6K 60 and 4K 120. It was just a great camera overall. It did open gate, but it was a larger camera. It was a flagship camera. And I used that for a while and it was working well, and then the X-S20 got announced. And when you look at the specs of the X-S20, it is absolutely amazing. So comparative to the X-H2S, it is a smaller body with nearly the exact same specs. You're missing out on some small things like the shutter not being as fast. I think the X-S20 goes to like 1/4000, whereas the X-H2S goes to 1/8000. And there's other little things like that that you're missing out on, but the size of the X-S20 is ridiculous. It is such a small camera. And at the time, I was traveling more for conferences, for weddings, and just traveling in general, and I wanted something that I could pack easier. Now, the fact that it was a smaller body, it had the flippy screen, and also it did 6K open gate, for me, that was hands down a great choice. So the X-S20 became my main camera. That's actually what I'm recording this video on as well. Now, at the time, the price of the X-S20 was amazing at $12.99. This is really good for a smaller body that has so much video built into it. I think as of today, it's actually up to $14.99, but it's been out for a long enough time now, and with all the constraints on tech right now and the economy, it's no wonder it's a little bit more expensive, but I still think it's a great buy. And the X-S20 really is like the little brother of the X-H2S because the bodies are almost exactly the same, but it's so much smaller. I did some videos on this in the past, but I took my X-S20 with me to Japan, I think on my first ever Japan trip, and it was great to bring with that and a pancake lens, and the whole setup was extremely small. I'll link that video up above. But for me, the size was a huge deal, especially for how I'm using the X-S20. Like I said again, I use it for my YouTube videos mainly, but I also do some hybrid photo video for my couples at weddings. And one thing I've been doing recently is recording their ceremonies. Now, with a camera like the X-S20, it is super easy to take it, set it up on a tripod, and let it run in the background. Hook this up with a nice zoom lens, and you have an amazing camera that's going to give you everything you need in a tiny package. Also, the X-S20 can use some of the video accessories that Fujifilm has made. Like one big one that I've bought is the little fan that you can use on the GFX. You can use it on the X-H2S and also the X-S20. This fan helps keep the camera cool, which is really needed, especially if you have outdoor ceremonies or anything like that. And again, like I was saying earlier, for some of the stuff you're missing, it only has a single card slot. It only goes to 1/4000. And I can't remember all the other specs of the X-H2S, but it really is missing out on a little bit. But if you're not a full-on professional videographer, or you're looking for something smaller to use, X-S20 hands down is the best choice. For specs, you have your APS-C 26 megapixel sensor, which is very reminiscent of most Fujifilm X cameras. It's using the CMOS 4 sensor and the X processor 5. So it's a fast camera. It's, again, most of the top of the line for what they have right now. I have no idea what could be coming next, but the X-S20 is still hitting way above its weight currently. It also has IBIS, which is something you're going to be missing from something like the X-T5. Now, the X-T5 is my favorite camera for photo, but when I want to do anything hybrid, this is where the X-S20 just totally blows it out of the water. Having that IBIS, having the 6K open gate, the smaller body, and also that great 26 megapixel sensor, and you have a total, like, just absolutely amazing camera for photo and video. And speaking of photo, you're basically getting like an XT3 model camera in the XS20. Now, I will be honest, the XS20 is not my favorite for photos. I do not prefer the body for photo taking. I like the XT series better. However, keep in mind, I started on the XT2, so I'm kind of biased toward the XTs, but a lot of people love the XH2S and the XS20 and that shape of the body. For me, with the flippy screen and also the way the grip is, it just makes more sense as a video camera. I don't really like it for photos. However, I have used it for photos. I did a photo shoot a while ago at Imaging USA, which I'll link up above. And I also took it, like I was talking about earlier, on my first trip to Japan. And speaking of that trip to Japan, I actually made a blog post about it, about just taking photos for photo's sakes. And there's a whole bunch of sample images that you can check out from the XS20. And since we're talking about my amazing blog post, I was able to make that easily with this video sponsor, Squarespace. If you're looking to share your content online, whether it be video, photo, or blog posts, Squarespace is a great place to do it. It's an online platform that will help you easily build your website, build your online presence, and give you a place on the web where you can show off your content. Like I said again, I wrote this blog post in Squarespace a couple of years ago, and it's on there on my website hosted by me now, and I don't have to worry about any of the other social media platforms going down. My blog post is going to be there. I've been on Squarespace for over 10 years now too, so I am a huge fan and highly recommend it. And on top of it being an easy to use platform, they have a whole bunch of features that will build into anything that you want to do in your business, whether it be selling physical or digital products, writing blog posts, sharing video content online, and so much more. So if you're looking to build a website, definitely make sure to check out Squarespace. I have a link in the description below for 10% off of your first website or domain. So again, the photo area of the XS20 is where personally I would rather pick up an XT5. However, keep in mind the XS20 is smaller than the XT5, give or take when you're weighing out the grip. Generally, when I'm using the XS20 for photos, I love to pair it up with the 16-55 too. This lens is absolutely amazing and it gives me a wide range to take photos. Now, the only downside I would say is that the XS20 does okay with ISO and noise, but I really don't like to push it too high up. And because of that f2.8 on the 16-55, sometimes it's not giving me what I would like when it gets darker. But honestly, again, the XS20 is a great travel camera and is great for a backup camera at my weddings. Because one of the biggest things I like to do with it as well, not only am I recording my couple's ceremonies, but if I need a backup camera, I have the XS20 with me. So God forbid any of my cameras give out, I can just pick up the XS20 very quickly and be able to take great photos with it. Now, the biggest question here, as per always, is does the XS20 make sense in 2026? And I know a lot of people love to sit there and like mid-max all their settings and figure out what's the best for price. But for me, usability and what I'm getting from the camera comes first always, which is why I've always been a huge fan of Fujifilm because, yeah, okay, they may not be the best as far as all of the specs and settings, but I love using the cameras. They make me want to take photos. They're small and easy to use, and the photos look good. I can take JPEG photos and not even care about editing because I know it's going to come out of the camera looking amazing. And for me, that goes farther than anything else. So that's why I think the XS20 is great in 2026. It shines best as a hybrid camera, but the photos look great as well. Now, honestly, if you're looking something more photo-centric, you're not really going to be doing video, I would say go with something like the XT33 or the XT50 or maybe even an XT5. Those are going to be a better choice, especially those smaller cameras for an interchangeable lens camera that's going to give you a great look that's small, but it's more geared towards photo. Those cameras also have video as well, but the XS20 again is following that same line that the XH2S is taking, so it's more hybrid, more video. If you're looking for a hybrid video camera, this is one of the best choices. However, if you are going down the filmmaking route, then you want to go to the XH2S. I'm curious to see what the future of Fujifilm is going to look like in the next year or so. There hasn't been any announcements this year, so I don't know if we're like waiting for some or just the way tech is going, maybe everyone's slowing down, but I'm really excited to see what's coming up next. But honestly, I would say not to wait. If you're looking at the XS20, go ahead and jump on that camera. It's going to be amazing for the long haul, or you can get a great used deal on it. If you like videos like these where I cover some of the stuff I've used in the past, or even just want to see more wedding day videos, please let me know in the comments below. I'll post some stuff here. And I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will catch you all next time.